Let's get back to our seats because it's the moment that you've all been waiting for, that you have been asking about all day, because the one and only Todd McFarlane is joining us here today. So give it up for Todd, everybody. I know you're excited. And we will have a Q&A, so keep an eye out for me down on the bottom to know where to go to ask questions to Todd.
All right, everybody, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming to New York Comic Con. Appreciate it. We've got a half an hour. I'm hoping that it becomes a little interactive. One of the things, I'm up here for sort of two people. One, Todd McFarlane himself and my studio and the books that we do. And I'm also the president of Image Comics, right? So again, anything that I can gather, get either here in this conversation, I'll be here till midday Sunday. So if you happen to see me walking around, you happen to be there, you've got a thought, like, don't be shy, right? One of the things that I said before, I broke into comic books years ago by not being shy when it mattered, right? Even if that's your personality, don't go. You're not gonna bug me. I'm telling you right now, do it, right? Because we can only get the feedback from all of you if we hear what the feedback is. Now, as you guys know, there's no pleasing everybody, right? I can ask 100 retailers the same question and get about 70 different answers, right? But what we're looking for at times on the image front is a consensus of whether there's things that we can do better for you, right? Here's what all of us really want in the simplest form. I think I know what you guys want. You just want good quality product you can sell to your customers, period. Right? Period. We can have a debate about price points, we can have a debate about formats and all those other things, and we should. So bring those up. But at the end of the day, you're only as good as the material that any of us will deliver to you and your stores, right? There's a symbiote. I learned a long time ago, there's a symbiote between, for me, there's four pieces, and if any one of us doesn't do our job properly, I think the chain breaks. And the four pieces are, you've got the creative community. That's us. That's sort of what I represent at times. We're up there. Then we have you, the stores. I can create in a vacuum all I want, all of us as creators. If you don't take what we create and put it on your shelves, we are just self-indulging in a basement someplace. So thank you. I have been grateful to you good people for now close to 40 years because I understand that connection. You then need people to come in and take those products off your shelf. And the way that they come and take, and that's really the person that we rely on the most. You guys and myself. They don't take the product off the shelf, both of us are out of business. The fourth person that has come around, and I think this piece has actually grown since the sort of the growth of the internet, are the people who are the news people, right? It is incumbent upon us as creative people to get the word out to as many people as we can. That's people who do podcasts, they do news, they write articles. I don't care how they get it. I don't care how we get it out. We have to get it out. We can't assume you guys are going to do our job for us. I have to create. I have to go advertise it as much as possible. That's the fourth piece. If they do their job right, the customer knows it exists, and if they know it exists, they will come into your store and ask for it. And this circle goes, and sometimes it goes in different directions, but this circle that goes around and around and around allows us to basically survive. Look at, people have asked me dozens and dozens of times, hey Todd, was it hard to go and start Image Comic Books and go out on your own? The answer is no. You know why? Because I was just doing what many of you in this room have been doing for decades. You were doing it before I was. You bet on yourself. You took enough confidence in what you were doing. You had a passion for what you were doing, and you turned it into a business. Right? You guys are not really dramatically different than what I do every day. And when it works, it's brilliant. We've all had our highs, right? When it's flying high, woo, we wish that buzz wouldn't go away. And then at times reality comes in. And we have to work hard, all of us. You guys know it. There's ebbs and flows, and the longer you're in any business, I don't care what it is, but in this one, we've all been through it. Some of you big long vets. There's ebbs and flows to it. And you gotta have the stomach for both of them. Because the people who survive the longest, and I see some of the faces, those are the people I admire the most. That they've gotten through all the storms that have come along. And so they're the people that I try to pick their brain, right? I don't have the answer. I have some answers on the creative end. You guys have the answers on the retail end. And I'm always curious as to what those pieces were that you do that work, sometimes in a short period of time because there are trends and you just take advantage of it, and then other times just long-term survival. Long-term survival. I've seen in my decades a little bit of sort of overlap of why I think some stores survive more than others, and the ones that and I broke in 84, 85, I'm going way back during the Reagan administration, right? So the ones that I see that still exist, that have been there almost my entire career, don't look like comic shops, period, right? They look like pop culture shops, and they've always appealed to as many people as possible. Because here's the thing about us, this comic book people, and you guys know this, we're addicts. Comic book people are addicts. And I don't care, if I go to where I bought my comic books before I broke in, if you put them at the front of your store, I don't care where they were. If you put them at the back of your store, I was gonna find your comic books no matter what. So I was coming to your store no matter what. You had me. I was a comic book addict. The stores that I saw prosper were the ones that put other stuff kind of in the front window. That was pop culture stuff. When The Simpsons was hot, they put it in. When Harry Potter was hot, they put it in. If something else, even stuff like Minecraft or whatever, they put it up at the front, because I was coming every Tuesday, every Wednesday, whatever the day was that was being delivered for comic book, I was coming regardless, right? Not that you take advantage of us, the comic book artists, but we're already in the choir. And what you want to do is try and preach to as many people outside that. Now, given that I've had a good career, Image Comic Book has had a long run that, and I understand it. My family, my wife hears me talk about it. I am eternally grateful to everybody in this room and those that aren't for giving me a long career. I don't take that for granted at any time. Might be the Canadian in me, but I don't take that for granted. I don't take for granted that a fan supports what we do. I've had plenty of people say, Todd, I see you signing, and every time somebody comes, you thank them. They should be thanking you. No, I think it's a two-way street. I think it's a two-way street. If they don't buy my product, they don't support it, I don't have a career. So I owe them as much thanks. If they like what I do, good. We both got something out of each other. I owe it. I owe you guys. So as a small gesture of my appreciation for you, what we'll be doing is we're going to be handing out this comic book to each and every one of you. You don't have to get in line because I've pre-signed every single one of them. Now, if you want to, I'll do a double signing if you see me again, but we're going to do it. So we made 300 of these because everybody couldn't attend that had a ticket. We're going to get it. So you're going to get a book that at 300 may be one of the lowest print runs I've ever done, other than maybe some employee covers that I've done for my employees, right? I've autographed it at the bottom. And I've got a book out that's called King Spawn. This is a reprint of a recent Spawn book, but it will be the first Spawn book that is the quasi-King Spawn book, because at the bottom of it, it says, retailers are king, right? So that's either you can, and I don't care what you do with this book, right? We live in a world of capitalism. I don't care. You can take it home, you can put it into your own collection, or you can sell it to whoever you want, give it away to whoever you want. It's your business. You know how to run it in a way that will make you survive. Do what you have to do with that. What I'm more concerned about is getting and hearing some of your input. So I've got you've got a roving mic. Look at you, big shot. Oh man, even better. So I've just got a roving mic. So if you've got,
It's not on yet. Hang on, he's gonna hook you up.
hook me up, please. Oh, hey, so if you've got a question, you got a comment you want, we're gonna do it. And if I can bribe you to raise your hand, and don't be shy, right? Because look, I'm going to tell you. Maybe some of you heard the story. It seems like I'm not a shy guy, but I was. I went to San Diego one time to show my portfolio. I got there too late. I was never going to be able to show my artwork. So you have to find a back door. I'm a complete back door guy. There's always a back door, right? My wife colors inside the lines. I'm always outside the lines, right? You always beg for forgiveness later. Anyways, I was never going to get my stuff seen in that portfolio line. Jim Shooter, head of Marvel, was there. I go, man, this is a good opportunity. And the only way I was going to get to him, because time was going to run out, is I had to find the back door. And that back door was that he had to take a piss. Right? No. Always bet on the bladder. I have done, guys, I could go on about bladders all day long. But in this particular case, Jim went to the bathroom. I followed him. I took a fake pee next to him. I even shook it, right? And I was like, there was nothing. But so he went in, I went in. He took a pee, I took a pee. He washed his hands, I washed my hands. And then when we came out, I said, hey, Mr. Shooter, hey, I've got my portfolio and I know you're doing it and I shouldn't be asking whatever. But he took the time to look at it. Now, I didn't know if he was, and he said no, that was fine. But I asked, and every now and then, this is the shyness, you gotta just put it away, because the off chance you might get something out of it. I tell every one of my employees every day, come into my office, ask for a raise. Why? Because if I say no, which I'm probably you're gonna get paid the same amount as you walked in. But there's the off chance I may say yes, and you're gonna walk out with more cash. There's no downside to asking me for a raise every single day of your life. And still, I get a lot of them that don't ask. I don't get it. So I'm gonna bribe some of you shy ones. It's New York Comic Con. We've got an exclusive book here. Peach Momoka did a cover for us right here, right? That's gonna go on sale on Saturday. So nobody's seen this one yet. We've got lots of toys. Let me tell you, in the back here, there are lots of toys in the back here that nobody has seen yet. So if you want to take pictures, you'll be some of the first to show some of those toys off there. But if you have some input, if you have something that you would like to talk about in the next few minutes, you will get one of these before anybody else. If you're really smart, put it on fucking eBay tonight and say this is a 1 of 1. And then you'll get a better price, because it's not going to be that true on Friday. So get the cash and get the cash now. Yes, you're up front. I'm going to work to the back, because we're not going to play favorites. So this better be good, because you get the first one. Go.
All right.
Introduce yourself.
Hey, my name is Chris, and I own Urban Pop Comics in Georgia.
Georgia. All right.
So I've been getting some retail covers, retail exclusive covers, and whenever I approach somebody with image covers, it's always, you get the first one, and you have to order a minimum, which makes sense, but then you have to order the second and third one with another higher minimum. Is there a reason behind that?
Yes. Right? Here's the thing about Image comic books. Some things we do as a democracy, and sometimes we do as a dictator, right? So we do like 60, 70 books a month. The people who do those books own their books. We just, again, I've said it before, everybody knows, Image owns nothing. Zero. We own nothing. You come do a book for us, you own everything. So when we have these exclusives and we do it, ultimately the final call lies with the creators. We give guidance on almost everything that we do with the creators, but part of it is they get the longest leash. And if they say, hey, we want to do it at this number, we want to try and do it at this, we got to get the extra sales for here, they get the final say. It's their book, it's their creation. If they make the decision right or wrong, they're the benefactor of it. What we do is we bring in our 20, 30 years of experience and data, and we try to make recommendations. But that's all we can do. So if there's a little bit of inconsistency at times, it's probably that factor across the board. Why does that book do that, and why that book do that, and that book I mean, my books are $2.99. Why? Because it's my books. I get to basically price my books any way I want to see fit. So it's not anything crazier than that.
Well, I guess from a small store.
Oh, here we go.
I guess from a small store, like we have a small store, and I noticed that by issue 2, 3, the sales drop. And so having to order 500 of one and then 50 and 100 of 2 and 3, I'm kind of that, oh, can I do this? Is this going to work? Am I going to invest a couple $1,000 or $100 or whatever it may be? And am I going to have 49 copies of this left over?
So here's what I would say in general in life, right? We all have to make decisions and live with them. So what we do as creative people, what I do personally, is I offer stuff creatively, I put it out there, whatever, and then it's up to everybody else to decide whether they want to support that at those levels. I don't know the stores, I don't know who your customers are, we don't know his image. We assume that people that are making those risks think they're going to get some kind of return back for it, either short-term or long-term. They know how fast they can turn and burn some of the products, right? So this is the great thing about you guys owning your own stores too. You get to make your own decision, good, bad, or indifferent, right? The great thing I've said before about being an entrepreneur is that no matter what happens, for me, good, bad, or indifferent, I don't get to bitch to anybody, because the person who made the final call is the guy I shave with every morning in the mirror. Right? And I love that guy. I like Todd, right? So nobody likes Todd more than me, because I can't escape him right now. So we just put stuff out. We just stand back. You guys make your orders. And if you make the wrong call, we made lots of wrong calls in our day. That's the reality of it. So it's yours, right? It's your company, and but like I said, for 4 decades, you guys have been supporting Image comic books. Look we put lots of books out. Lots of them sell out. How many Mets fans are in this room? Okay, how many Yankee fans are in this room? Fuck the Yankees. Anyways, here we go. Last one.
Opened up 7 years ago, and did what I felt was correct business-wise. Guarded against like variant covers and all that stuff. But really, what I learned with operating comic stores, all of the problems that comic store faces are external. They're outside of the industry itself. Pandemics, rent, natural disasters. And there's programs like BIG that are around that have helped. They're extremely helpful, actually. But as a business owner, anything that you can think of that maybe help you guard your business from like external issues and stuff?
Wow, yes and no, right? I said before, name's Todd, only rhyme with God, right? I don't get to control the whole planet here, which I could, but I don't get to. So what I just do is focus on what I can control. So you're right, the pandemic was a body blow to many of us. And it put some people out of business. But none of us had any say over that. What you had say over is, what am I going to do given that there's a pandemic? What can I control in that piece? I'm going to digress, we're going to do baseball for a minute. I coached baseball at a very high level. I played at a high level, but I also coached at a very high level. And every now and then we would get a bad umpire. And I never let my kids, ever, I coached all the way up to 17, I never let them ever complain about the umpire. And you know that one that pitches up here, they call it a strike? Oh, that hurts a young soul, right, when he has it. And so I used to have this conversation a couple times. Guys, everybody over here, my team was called Sub-Spawn. And I go, come on over here. Okay, here's the deal. That umpire is shit. He's going to be shit all day long. So we have two choices. We either forfeit right now, or we play with that shit umpire. But he's not changing. So here's what we can control. He can only call you out on the third strike. If it was me, I hit one of the first two fucking balls I saw. Because you will never get a chance to be a bad umpire if you hit the first two balls. That's in your control. You miss those first two strikes, it's on you. So, I don't know, what are the first two strikes when the pandemic comes or anything comes that you can take care of yourself? That's all you got, right? That's all any of us have. And then we just sometimes look for what happens and look for a lucky break, right? And we get there. But I do know that there are many people, I see the faces here. There are many people here that I've seen that have survived bad umpires. They have been dealt with bad blows for decades and decades and decades, and they are still in this room. I would talk to them, and I thank you guys for surviving because you are glowing examples to other people in this room. So give yourselves a big round of applause. Retailers are king. How are we getting down those comic books? Okay, she's the queen.
Yes.
She's the